All right. How are we? Ryan J here. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're happy, healthy, and well. And things are going your way today. And I'll get to that going your way thing in a little bit here because it was an interesting time for me this morning. Anyhow, like I said, I'm Ryan J. I help people make money online. Um, yeah, and that's about me. I've been doing it a couple, 2, 3, 4 years now. So yeah, I do videos and share content. Um, I gotta say that this is going to be on the Massive Life Changing Value Facebook page, so welcome there. And this is a little bit different for me, so I'm going live first on YouTube, and then I'm going to switch it over to Facebook, which is different from what I've done in the past. I usually go live on the FB and then put it on the YT, so and I'm doing that to switch up a couple of things and see if I get more views on the YouTube or see if I get more views on my Facebook page. Whatever. But that's just me. Anyhow, so yeah, a little bit different, but quite all right. Hey, recording, putting out the content. This is my fourth video today. So, man, I'm almost up to Gary V standards of like, create the content. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Interesting times today. So, being that this is my fourth video, it didn't start off that way. It started off kind of rocky this morning. I didn't even want to push record or go live on my first video. And I hemmed and hawed and came up with excuses and like, oh, it's no big deal. I'll just make another one tomorrow, or I'll just do it tomorrow. So I was literally like psyching myself up out of going live in the first place and shooting a video. So, and that's not normally like my demeanor or my attitude about it or anything like that. Usually I'm raring and ready to go, but I was struggling. I don't know. It was just like a laissez-faire, him-ha kind of morning. And, well, to overcome that, and I realized that the games I was playing in my head of like making excuses and not doing the work, which would be going live, but I was like, oh, I don't have any content for this. I need to make something up. Well, you know what occurred to me at that moment in time is that me psyching myself out of it in my mind frame and in my mindset and making excuses was not doing the work. And, you do things when you don't want to do them. Yeah, there are many times that I don't want to go to the gym. There are many times that I don't want to clean the house, that, oh, the dishes can wait. Or, well, you do the thing because it needs to be done. And whether that's showing up and punching in for work, if you do that in these strange times, if you do, thumbs up to you. You're probably essential. But you do the work when you don't want to do it. So I ended up doing the work. Now, here's another interesting thing that happened to me in my progress of, creating videos today. Um, During the videos today, so I ran into a little bit of trouble with, I don't know if it was the servers, whether it was the phone, whether it was my network. I don't know. I'm not that in the cloud guy. I can't tell you exactly what was going wrong. Maybe I kicked out the plug on out of the wall or something. Maybe the hamsters inside the video camera had to start working a little harder. I'm not sure, but I was ending up with long lag times in my uploads. Okay, well, that's not necessarily beneficial for the, or conductive to the attitude I was in, because I didn't even want to do the video in the first place. So now I'm having technical troubles with it uploading and that sort of deal. So in the middle of that, I'm like, oh, see, there it is. That's a sign. I shouldn't have gone live. Shouldn't have done it. I should have just, I don't know, made a plate of nachos or something. I don't know. But then again, I was still talking myself out of it. Then, it fixed itself. It was longer than what I wanted it to be. But then again, what happens when I want it to happen anyhow? That's me and my expectations of when I want something to happen. I want it to happen right now. Well, you know what? Things don't work that way in my perfect world. And I need to dial down my expectations a little bit. I can only control how I thought about the situation. I can't control the situation. Can't control it. I can just control how I think. And I started off on a lousy mindset anyhow, so I needed to get that in check. Well, so I'm watching my video upload, and it goes from 42% complete to 12 hours remaining, down to like 6 minutes remaining, up to paused, up to 36 hours remaining, down to 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening here? So I'm like literally watching the timer, going like, watching the timer. And that's frustrating in itself, because you're like, come on, why don't you go faster? Well, it's doing its thing, Me standing over it and looking at the timer doesn't make it go any faster. And matter of fact, it was just frustrating me. So, an interesting thing happened while I'm waiting. I remember back to a podcast I had watched a couple, 2, 3 days ago, and it was Ed Mylett. Ed Mylett. It was an excellent podcast. Matter of fact, I think this is one of the first times I'd ever been turned on to him, and I enjoyed his content. What he was talking about in that content was, early on in his entrepreneurial career, he didn't have the experience of like the battle hardened entrepreneurs that had been doing it 30 some years or something like that. He was a new, younger guy, and he's like busting his chops to get into the entrepreneurial world. And he had the motivation, discipline, and drive. He just didn't have the experience. So he said to himself, how can I rack up the most experience possible within the shortest amount of time. So he ended up compressing his days, like one day, and coming up with some sort of schedule as to how to compress 3 days worth of work into one day. So, all right, that was the podcast that I watched. Now, so here I am. I'm like looking at the timer and it's not going as fast. So I stepped back and I was like, it would be cool if I could come up with a routine or a schedule of how I can replicate 3 days of work into one work day. And so while brainstorming that, I don't know if this has been created before. I'm not sure. But what I did is I came up with a schedule on how you can get 3 days worth of work into one day. All right. To win your day, you need to plan your day. So I have a whole bunch of notes here and I put it together and man, I think it's going to be super slick. Now, I'll put this into print and make it available because, I consider myself a high achiever and very disciplined and like I'm very, very schedule orientated. I follow a schedule, and if it's written down for me, plus I like journaling, so writing down my results from what I did the day before, that gives me a benchmark of how I can improve the next day, and so on and so forth, and see what my successes were, see where I seem to waste a lot of my time, see where there is improvement. Now, without knowing, how are you going to improve? So that's why I personally like journaling, writing things down, and coming up with like a written schedule of to-do lists, things that need to be done. I like putting that into play in my life. Now, if I like it and I'm a high achiever, I can only imagine that there are other high achievers out there that may want the same assistance. So, here we go. We'll see if there's a market for it. If not, I'm making it for myself and I'm gonna like definitely be able to use it and get benefits out of it. So when it's all said and done, I guess it started off rocky and rough, but I switched my mind frame. I realized that I need to do the work, even if I don't want to. The work needs to be done and it needs to get done. So when I ended up doing more work. So going from I don't want to do one video, I'm on video 4, and I came up with a pretty kick-ass little schedule here. And coming up with that schedule, I suppose by cramming 3 days worth of work into one, that is true massive life-changing value. And that's kind of what I'm going for anyhow. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the day, or for this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in maybe getting your hands on one of these journals, put it in the comments below. Send me a DM. You can email me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. And I'll keep you abreast to the situation as to how that's coming along. Sooner rather than later. That's what I imagine. All right, guys. Till next time, Ryan J. Make it an epic day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy.